Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the Project Kin Neon overview session. So what's the purpose? So this is an invitation to close the gap on housing. So Australia's invested billions of dollars here. We know that there's a lot of problems with the delivery models that we've got at the moment, and I think no one is saying that there has been anything remotely fit for purpose that's been put out there. And in many ways, it's just been temporary until something comes along, I would say, especially when you think about these prefabricated solutions. And they're talking about 3D printers, which out in those conditions, I'm not sure how it would go if they broke down. But some of these things are a little startup early in the process there. What we're going to propose today is absolutely a fit for purpose solution that's better, faster. This project is Indigenous-led. It's going to be community driven and it can scale nationally. So we're inviting organisations to help build it properly from the beginning. And that's why we're showing it to you today. So what's the challenge we have here? So remote housing in Australia is failing. We know it. We're hearing the Prime Minister talk about it. It's right in conversation right now. And what's causing that? Well, it's high costs, short useful life. These buildings constructed today only have a useful life of 50 years, according to the Rawlinson's building guides. Non-local workforces, there's no benefit to community. It's just these things getting dropped in there and then they leave. And it's not made for the conditions. This results in overcrowding, long wait times, dependency, not capability, and poor livability standards. So no one wants this. Here we go. Let's have a look at how we're addressing this challenge. The timing couldn't be better. As I mentioned here, Australia's really seeing the need for urgency, the sense of urgency right now. It's really gotten to a point where some big changes need to happen. Round 3 has just come out of the Housing Australia Future Fund, which is fantastic. 20,000 plus houses, 600 million dedicated to First Nations housing. They're talking about removing red tape. The Prime Minister talks about cutting down time from years to months, months to weeks. Incredible. I've been speaking with local government and they're 100% behind that as well. So they're actively seeking value for money, scalable, partnership-ready models. And here we are building the same way that we were doing 40 years ago. It has to change. A quote directly from the Housing Minister herself, who we have spoken with the department already, and they're very supportive of this. So the project, here we go. A proven construction system redesigned for Australia. And it doesn't even take much tweaking, and we'll see more about that shortly. But what we're talking about here is interlocking blocks made from compressed stabilized materials. This is globally proven. It's been used for decades now, and there's hundreds of thousands of examples of communities around the world that have benefited from this. It uses local materials, local labor, and local training. It has strong thermal performance and durability. There's faster construction cycles than traditional remote builds, and it's a governance model that's led by elders. So they'll decide who comes in, they'll decide who gets the training, they'll decide what we're going to do. So this is housing and capability delivered together, which is pretty incredible in itself. So the delivery, as I mentioned, this is elders led. We're going to put together the A team here. We're going to make sure that there's everything to be able to roll this out, but nothing happens without the elders having full say over this, and not a spade of dirt is overturned until they say so. They'll select who's trained and employed through the process. Every day they'll have visibility and guidance of the process. And the whole process itself will be a journey. I mean, we don't listen to a song to get to the end. This is something special. And so the actual journey itself, we have so many opportunities to build community confidence here. And that's what we're going to look to do. The machinery, well, this is exciting. Hydroform interlocking compressed stabilized materials block making machine. Let's just call it compressed blocks. So the machine itself is transportable. It's on wheels. You can throw it on the back of a ute. You might want to grab a few little extras as well, a big ute. So it's made from top quality equipment and materials. It's extremely durable, basically. We've seen examples here that have been running for decades, and there's no problem. As long as you give them regular maintenance, these machines will last forever. The model we're just going to look at here knocks out about 2,400 blocks a day. To put that into scale here, we need about 38 blocks per square meter of wall, and that's based on the manufacturer Hydroform's specifications here, and it runs on diesel. So there is an electric version, but diesel is so much more sensible and fit for the conditions. I'm just going to play a little video. Well, at this point, I am actually going to introduce you to the Hydroform team here. So I'm going to stop sharing for just a second, and I am going to pass this over to Hydroform International.
The company Hydroform was established in the year 1988, and we are grateful that Robert Plattner, one of our founders, is still with us. He and Hydroform is the original manufacturer of this technology. So it is manufactured in South Africa, and we have our head office in South Africa. We have various technology machines that we provide, mobile ones, stationary ones, as Kieran has touched on and said that some of them are mobile and they use diesel engine. But the basic concept is that we use laterite soil, local materials. We mix it with about 10% cement and a little bit of water, and then we input that into the machine, which then compress it into a compressed block. And after it comes out of the machine, we then cure it without burning. We don't burn our bricks. They're just basically going to sit for about 8 to 14 days, where we cover them with plastic every morning and then a bit of water in the morning. So there's no burning of materials. And that process of curing allows the block to gain its strength. By South African standards, the minimum is 7 MPa strength block that we need, but it has also been an international standard approved as well. The main features and benefits of our technology, from a cost perspective, because you're using local soil and you're using dry stack bricklaying, which means there's no mortar joints in between the blocks, and less cement, you could save up to 30% cost savings. And we normally cap it at 30%, but we've had clients and governments that have used this and testified that they've saved up to 45% in terms of construction cost. So there's huge benefits in terms of cost savings. But the other benefit, as Kieran was mentioning, is a community benefit. We train the local community, the youth. women, they learn how to build using this technology. Therefore, you're creating job for the local communities, and above all, skills for the local youth and women. And the block is environmentally friendly. If we compare the block to the normal conventional bricklaying and clay bricks, some of the benefits I've already mentioned, and Kieran has touched on it. The construction, because you've got no mortar joints in between, you're building a lot faster than conventional methods. And in our studies and our research, we found that from foundation to roof level, with this method, if you're doing a 50 square meter house, it could take you 2 weeks with unskilled labor that you train, versus in conventional brick, it can take you up to 6 weeks. So it shows that it's a lot faster compared to conventional bricks. And again, we don't burn bricks. We know that clay bricks need to be burned to be cured. We don't burn bricks, so this is environmentally friendly. And because the material used is soil, which is natural, you have great thermal properties in the walling structure. So on a hot summer's day outside, the house will be a bit cooler inside, and on a winter's day outside, the house will be a bit warmer. So the soil retains the heat and as well. So it's environmentally friendly. There's various projects that can be designed for using this interlocking blocks. This is the affordable housing solution that was used here in South Africa, together with the Department of Housing. A lot of people, about it was 200 families, had to be reallocated to this new structure. And if you look on the right on the presentation, those were the old mud houses that they were staying in, and now they got reallocated to these new structures. Now, a structure like this means upliftment in the community, because now you've got a quality home that you can go into, and with quality finishes. And above all, we hire people from the community to be part of this project, so they can learn to build their own houses. There's been other various projects as well. It doesn't have to be just affordable housing, but this is middle income housing earners, and various houses structures that have been built. This was in Tanzania as an example, and upmarket housing that has been built in various countries. And the one on the top right is a housing estate here at our offices in Boksburg in Johannesburg that was built over 18 years ago, and it's still standing. So the blocks can be used to build basically anything that the structural engineer and an architect approves. So it's not restricted to just affordable housing. And of course, you can also build housing, schools, hospitals. These are various buildings of hospitals and schools in various countries that were used to build using the hydroform system. You can also go high rise as long as the structural engineer approves it. The block then can become an infill into these high rise structures. So the benefit of, again, is that the structure will go up a lot quicker, and also there's cost savings because there'll be less cement used in the block. The main item here that I like everyone to remember is that hydroform is approved by Agrima. Agrima is an international body. It's got offices in South Africa, but it's also based in France. So they test every structure that we've built, any block that we've designed, against fire safety, structural strength, water penetration, thermal performance, condensation, acoustics performance, and durability. And this, we've been passing every test, and we've had our registration since 1996. So meaning that our structures, we know they are safe and they're durable and they've passed the test. So, and this is important because there are a lot of competitors out there who act like they're hydroform, but they do not have this. And that's why for us, this is key because it shows that we're safe and we care about the communities. We are ultimately, as I mentioned, Agrima, and the other certificate accolade that I'd like to mention is the membership of the Green Council of South Africa, which is also an international body. Because our block buildings have only dry stacked and they've got the 70% dry stack and 30% cement, we therefore qualify as a green member association. And Hydroform is an ISO accredited company, and we are able to do business everywhere across the globe. I will not show this for the time being, but we do have other products should we need to talk about that. But in terms of the global footprint where we've reached, majority, as you can see, is Africa. Our head office is in South Africa, but we've got clients across the whole globe where we interact and support clients in terms of construction support services, construction projects, blockyard setups, and doing training and skills development. And of course, the most important part is the after-sale support, which we care deeply about to show that our clients' machines are well taken care of, as well as their projects. And that's the presentation. Thank you, Kieran.
Thank you for that, Mabuse. That was excellent. And so I think everyone's got a little bit of an idea now. And I would just like to say that this is also, I guess, the announcement that Hydroform has Australian base now as well. So this is Hydroform Australia. It's a little different, I guess, from a normal entrepreneurial partnership role. We are partnering up for purpose here. So the idea of this partnership really is that we're able to work as closely as possible as the two separate organisations to make sure that this is streamlined and that Hydroform International can support us in any way possible. And that's what this is really all about here. So, you know, when it comes down to it, we've found the best machinery in the world with this technology, and we've also found an incredible organisation to partner with, and everyone at Hydroform International is an amazing person, and the whole company has a great culture, and we love being partners now as well. Now, I'm just going to talk about what we're going to make. So the demonstration itself, this is stage one. So we're going to build a 40 square meter demonstration building, and that's minimum. And we'll talk about that as we go. But this is the minimum that we're going to aim for here as a starting point. The demo will allow us to be able to get all of the stakeholders together to come in and be able to kick the tires, so to speak. We'll be able to do a lot of local testing and obviously being able to satisfy all of the compliance needs in Australia is of the utmost importance. Changes all the time. So we just want to make sure we have the most available data possible for everyone to consume. And that way we can, as the Prime Minister puts it, cut through some red tape and just get on with business. I'm going to show you this little video here that'll kind of reiterate some of what Mr. Mabuse was saying before, but it's some important stuff here. So I'll put this on with Brother Rudy here.
We always talk about the Hydroform machines. Today we will be talking about the end product, which gets manufactured by the Hydroform machines. We are standing in front of our demo house that was constructed by our Hydroform builders. This structure here is 40 square meters. We used 2,700 Hydroform blocks to construct the whole dwelling with 11 days from the start of the construction. Inside the structure, you'll notice that we have different finishes on our walls. So we could go for the traditional plaster finish. We also have a varnish treatment on your walls with pointing done in between. Then we have a light bag wash finish. On this side, we can show you that we've got a cement bag watch, which is a little bit more of a rough texture. At the top, your roof structure is done as you do with conventional building methods. What is the win here? The win is less cement used for your hydroform building blocks. The win is less labor used to construct the dwelling. We are not using mortar to keep the blocks together, as we are doing a dry stack system, with mortar only being used on your foundation and at the top of your ring beam. As you can see, this would be a bathroom or a kitchen finish. Tiles being placed on the walls as you do with typical conventional building techniques. So some of the benefits of using the hydroform building technology: obviously there's a time saver and obviously there's a money saver. But also consider that hydroform machines is a much greener way of manufacturing building blocks, and also insulation. If you're inside this building in the summertime, it's a much cooler structure. And if it's cold outside and you want to keep it warm inside, due to the superior insulation properties, you get a much warmer temperature and easier to maintain on the inside. As you can see, we've done normal plastering and painting on the inside. We've done aluminium frame windows.
Already there, because I need to keep going, and I hope that was a great little demonstration there of what they've got over in South Africa, and we're going to try and replicate it quite similarly over here for our conditions. So obviously, once we've built this, we do want to get everyone along so they can, as they say, kick the tires on it and touch it and feel it and see exactly for themselves how incredible this is going to be. So we are going to have a launching event here. It'll have a welcome ceremony from a traditional owner. There'll be presentations from traditional owners and government, senior officials, project leads, and platinum sponsors as well. So we're going to be essentially looking at that as our marker point to move into the next phase, which will be for community revitalisation pilots. So not just houses, but being able to bring the skill sets of the biggest and best organisations from across Australia that want to get on board with this, and being able to offer a range of services to build their capabilities and capacity and just revitalise. They've been down for a long time. We can't just put homes there and walk away. The whole process itself needs to have a capability building aspect built into it. It is a great opportunity while we're there to be able to, I guess, find out what the dreams and aspirations of that community is, and to be able to bring in the biggest and best that we have out in Australia at the moment, and even abroad if we can, to be able to assist us in delivering these things. But we can see here, we're able to look at full-scale communities here. This could be even larger depending, but for your average remote community, this is probably going to be an indicative type scale here. So it's not just homes, but as you saw in the demonstration earlier, we can do schools and medical facilities, meeting spaces. So we can really satisfy community requirements here. Now, the timeline. We want to, there is a sense of urgency here. It's not just from us. This is from the government and this is from everywhere at the moment. You know, people can't afford their house anymore. And I didn't think young people would be at this stage of desperation in my lifetime. It's come very quickly. And so, yeah, absolutely. We want to move purposefully and correctly, but swiftly as well. So we've got the Housing Affordability Futures Fund here with the expression of interest coming up very soon. You can see, again, the timelines here are spectacular. For us, it's almost like the ancestors gave this one to us. We're going to be looking to finalise our sponsorship partners, which hopefully there's a few in this meeting right now watching on. So we'll look to finalise that towards the end of January. Then we'll be looking at getting those funds together and basically moving towards a demo build commencing on a community in May. Now, we're in discussions with Perth Lead on Biripi country there with my family and traditional owners and elders here who with the local Aboriginal Land Council there are voting to allow us to be able to do this demonstration build on their land. The Mid-Coast Council is extremely supportive about this as well. So then we're looking at trying to do this within a month. So it'll give us everything we need to see there. We'll try and do the build itself as quickly as possible with all of the safety and quality in there and see exactly what we can achieve. And then we're kind of moving forward then into November 2026 there, where we're hoping to be able to start scaling up into one or more, depending on how we go with the funding here. Of pilot sites, the community revitalisation pilot sites. So that's going to happen hopefully before the end of next year. And then, of course, after that, we're looking at a full closing the gap on housing rollout across the nation. The invitation. So this isn't a pitch. This is sharing what's going to happen and offering an invitation to be part of something that will be a moment in Australia's history here as we move forward. So we've got various levels here, and as you can probably imagine, the higher up the chain you go, the more fun you have. So the initial one here down at the community contributor is really just to be able to put your organisation's name on there and say, yeah, we're behind it. Absolutely. There will be recognition of this as well. We move into the major supporter here, which seems to be getting a great deal of attention at the moment, which is excellent. And this is, I guess, a step up from that. You get some people can come along to our launch. And of course, there'll be some placement at the event as well and in our communications. And then we go all the way up to our founding partners here who will get all of those features, those perks, plus, yeah, absolutely a partner kind of branding and relationship here. So for these organisations, it's not just the funding here, but we're probably looking to partner with these organisations to do the scale at nation building levels. So the conversations that we're having at the moment, and hopefully to be able to have a few more of those, will be with organisations that can deliver us exceptional capabilities across the nation. Essentially, what we're doing here is taking one of the oldest methods known, the original scientists' methods of being able to build housing here, and we're just bringing in all the modern STEM and technology that we have today to make it 100% as good as it can be. The fact that those buildings, those adobes as they're called, not the PDF opener reader, but adobes as in buildings, these earth buildings, they've stood for thousands of years. Look at the pyramids there, they're going fantastic. So this is just about sharpening up an old recipe. We're not we're not reinventing the wheel. We're taking the wheel. The problem is that the construction industry is just no longer being able to deliver on the demand. So we've got a supply and demand issue in Australia here, and with this solution here, we can start putting that ratio back into our favour again. We can roll this out, and beyond closing the gap for housing, as you saw, those houses that can be built are beautiful. So there's no reason why they should just be out in remote communities, where we're definitely going to look after the most disadvantaged Australians first, because we see that as the way to be able to strengthen Australia moving forward. But after that, you know, there's a lot of first home buyers out there that might love to learn how to build their own house. So let's explore what is possible. But it's been fantastic to be able to share with you what we're going to do.